Radical right-wing radio host Rush Limbaugh, in many ways the father of modern right-wing political media, we could say that actually in a number of different ways, has died at the age of 70 from lung cancer, which we learned about a year ago that he had. You may recall that shortly after his diagnosis, Donald Trump awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom during the State of the Union address in the year 2020. He has died, and this has it's really brought out the worst of many people, but also understandable ire and, in a sense, relief that Rush Limbaugh will no longer be on the American airwaves. And I've received so many emails about this. Some people gleeful at the death of Rush Limbaugh, others more circumspect. And I want to be sort of super clear. I don't believe in participating in cheering people's illness or death, nor do I ever wish illness or death upon anyone. And at the same time, as adults, most of us, we can recognize that some people have a positive influence in the world and some people have a negative influence in the world. And Rush Limbaugh's influence on the world was disgustingly and decidedly and unquestionably negative, and disastrously so. Rush Limbaugh used to do a segment where he would celebrate when people with AIDS died. As written by Mary Strom Larson, quote, "He garnered a following with outrageous programming that includes such features as celebratory moments when another AIDS victim died, which he called AIDS updates." That is disgusting. It knows no bounds. That is lower than anything. He regularly referred to women who I guess believe in women's rights as feminazis. He regularly took pleasure in the death of people on the left. Here he is, Rush Limbaugh, gleeful at the death of former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, just ecstatic at the possibility that it presents for the right to further take over the Supreme Court.
Washington Post has a story today. Democrats largely powerless to stop the GOP from confirming their court choice. Folks, do you know how big this is? This is huge. This could be, I want to whisper this, the end of Roe versus Wade. But this is going to have a massive impact on the American judiciary. It's thus going to have a massive impact on American culture and society.
So this is absolutely and endlessly disgusting. So listen, I've been seeing the posts, I've been getting the messages, I've been seeing the tweets of people essentially doing a dance on Rush Limbaugh's grave. That's not in my constitution to do. That just doesn't feel right. And so I don't do it. When Rush Limbaugh was diagnosed with lung cancer, I didn't cheer. Rush Limbaugh has a family. I don't know if he has kids. I guess maybe he does. I mean, listen, he was a terrible person. But illness and death affect people, and I would never wish that on anyone. But there is no doubt that we can recognize this person was an absolutely terrible influence on American politics. He was responsible for much of the not just, coarsening of language is sort of like, OK, coarsening of language, but the normalization of a certain type of gutter sniping politics during his early days on radio. And the world was what was negatively affected by his presence on the airwaves. So Rush Limbaugh dead at 70. And those are my thoughts. And quite frankly, I don't feel the need to say too much more about it. But I do want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump's bizarre, rambling, self-centered eulogy for Rush on Fox News. If you ever feel like you just don't have enough time to read all the books you want to read, you have to check out one of my favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist takes thousands of popular nonfiction books and distills each one down into an ebook or audiobook that you can get through in just 15 minutes, where you're getting all the key takeaways from the book. Just imagine how you'll be able to expand your horizons and knowledge by being able to soak up all of the important insights from 10 different books in an afternoon. Obviously, it's perfect for exposing yourself to a new book you otherwise wouldn't have time for, or you can use it to revisit a book you've already read, or use it to preview a book before you buy the full version and read it. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.